think for me as a communicator, my biggest issue that I kept getting back and over and over and over throughout relationships was you do not listen. You do not listen. You do not listen. You do not listen. And I thought, like, I do listen. I am an excellent listener. You know, I really thought, and I prided myself on being an excellent listener because I'm like, I do listen. And I would be able to reiterate everything that person just said to me back to them. I would just regurgitate it like word for word, like a freaking parrot. And, you know, I had to sit back and realize just because you can go ahead and reiterate what they said does not mean you understood the meaning behind them. And so that was the disconnect with me, is that I would go ahead and hear what they said audibly, but I would interpret it into my own like way, and then that's how I would take it. And that's not what, you know, the person said. So basically they would be like, I don't like your dress. And I hear, you're fat, you look ugly in that dress, take it off. And it's like, that's not what I said. You didn't hear what I said. And it was just like a constant battle. Like, you're not listening. You're not listening. And the situations would get deeper and worse than that. But that was like, you know, an example of like my way, like, you always have to check in. And like my ex was so good about that, but still I had a listening issue. But he would always say, what did I just say to you? What did I just say to you? Because he wanted to make sure his intentions were heard. Right. And if they weren't, he was willing to explain it again in a different way. So I think as a communicator, not only do you have to be able to speak clearly, but you also have to check in with your audience, which is the person you're talking to see if your message was received the way it should have been received. Because people will hear one thing, interpret another, and now you have an enemy. And you're like, hold on, where did we go wrong? So I'm working on my communication skills because I thought that, you know, I was an excellent listener, but clearly you want to be a great speaker, you have to be a great listener as well. And absolutely. So it goes hand in hand. So definitely work on your listening skills. Like when you're asking these questions, but you're not listening for the response, and then you're responding, always check in with your audience to make sure your intentions and the meaning behind your words were heard and they were understood. If you say you don't like the dress, it's the dress, not you they don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like,